Hey, good afternoon. This is Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff 2026. I just had a moment before I go to our event this evening. Good afternoon. This is Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County. This is just a moment that we have before we go to our event at 4 o'clock, where we're going to be at 2801 Salo Street, where it's a Meet the Candidate expo put on by the Chamber Alliance here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I just wanted to take a moment. I've been out campaigning today and getting in touch with some constituents and spreading the word. But I wanted to take a moment because something happened today that actually it didn't bother me, but it bothered me. Right, so I was having a conversation with three individuals at a restaurant today and was talking to them about voting and participation in the elected government within local government in Jefferson County. And all three of these individuals, and I know one of them was 67 years old. Today was their birthday. The other two were in the same age range. And these individuals were not registered voters. They were not intending on becoming registered voters and expressed their discontent with the voting process. I believe part of it was just being uninformed. And, they just said that they can't change anything, so why vote? I've had other people tell me that they weren't a registered voter because they did not want to become eligible for the jury pool, jury duty. That was one reason. I don't agree with that either. But what really bothered me was interacting with these three people today, and really, no matter what I said, they just were objecting to being involved in political and voting and being registered to vote and casting their vote. And so, as we had this conversation, the first thing out of their mouth was, "I don't vote because no matter who you vote for president, the Electoral College picks who they want for presidency, yada yada yada." That was the route he chose to take, and I just dialed it back for a moment to let him know that I was more so speaking about how his vote directly impacts local politics, city and county elected officials, state. The bigger you go, the more I could see where someone says their vote is not as relevant. I don't agree with that, just because you are electing people to put in office to represent you. And it's just, but I understand what he was trying to say is that the larger the number of votes, the bigger the party, the bigger the race, the smaller percentage that your one vote does count. So I just wanted to come on here and implore all citizens of Jefferson County. I am asking you to please become part of the process. It is very important for you to become a registered voter. It is very important for you to cast your vote. We're approaching a critical time in 2026 where it is time for change in Jefferson County. And if we don't have enough people participating in this, we could be doomed, right? Repeating the same thing, expecting a different result, is not good, right? So I just want to tell you that, in my opinion, county citizens, they should vote because it's the fundamental aspect of the democratic society. Voting allows citizens to engage with their government and contribute to the collective decision-making process that shapes the future of our communities, locally as well as nationally. Elected officials are able to make decisions on a wide range of issues, from education funding, healthcare policies, infrastructure projects, law enforcement, and these decisions also extend, into other things, environmental regulations, local ordinances, both city and county, and the services that are provided to include public safeties and parks. So by you not voicing your opinion, so this is just my perspective. This is Chris Lowery's perspective. If you refuse to vote, if you refuse to get involved with the process, then the person that you would have voted against, so their constituent votes for them, I feel like that's giving them two votes, because you can't cancel theirs out. One and one cancel out each other. So you're not doing that by not participating. And then it's tough for you to really be able to have a legitimate vested complaint when you're not participating in the process. So I was very disheartened today to talk to these individuals about that. And again, no matter what I said, they didn't seem to understand or be willing to give at all. And that's their God-given right to do. It just really is bothersome. I'll take it as a win that they did take my push card that had my phone number on it, and encourage them to reach out to me and have further conversations about this, because whether they voted for me or voted for another candidate that was running for sheriff. That was fine with me, but I just wanted them to participate in their civic duty. So voting empowers individuals to express their preferences and priorities through the ballot, right? So by you casting your ballot, and you tell me you want, in perspective to the Jefferson County Sheriff race, tell me you want a safer jail, you want a more efficient jail, and you want transparency. So then, therefore, because of the people that we've had in office over the past 7+ years, you have not felt like that those things were happening. So in order for you to get those things, you must vote for change. You must vote for somebody who's going to do something different that's been being done over the past seven years and a couple months. So as I spoke with these 3 individuals at the restaurant today, they weren't quite grasping that or understanding that. And I just want to take a moment and say, look, I'm imploring you to become a registered voter and vote in your local elections, both city, county, and state. Minimally, get involved, because your voice does matter. Your vote matters. I know someone that lost a race by 23 votes. So you can't tell me that voting doesn't matter when people lose by 23 votes. So if you have an opinion, and everybody has one, I just want you to be able to share that opinion. I want you to do that through the power of the ballot. So I'm asking you, go to the county clerk's office, become a registered voter, participate in the election process. This is vital for our democratic process. So every single vote contributes to the democratic process and reflects our engagement within the community. So I know over the last election cycle, I think I quoted it last night, talking about there was 21,000 registered voters in Jefferson County. I'm sorry, there were 60,000 people, only 21,000 elected. I'm sorry, I think that's what it was, 21,000 registered voters. So only 1/3 of our county is registered, I believe. But we just got to do a better job. If you're registered, participate. If you're not registered, become registered, and then in turn participate in your local, state, and federal elections. More importantly, the more local it is, the more your direct impact does. Because when you're talking school boards, okay, when you're talking JPs, city councilmen, I mean, you're talking the area land-wise, population-wise is much smaller. So if they're in an area that this representative, if it's not an at-large bid, this representative that's running for office, if they totally are not aligned with you at all, and you don't vote, then how are you canceling out the votes they are getting, right? How is your voice mattering when you're not voting, when you're not participating in your civic duties and processes in our democratic society? So please, 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 I could not believe how disheartened I was. The example I gave, and then as I had this conversation with someone else, they thought it was a pretty good example. So here's the example I gave. So if you don't believe in voting, if you don't believe in being a registered voter, I disagree with you, and I think you should go out and get registered, and I think you should participate in the voting process. I think you should participate in the elections. However, we are in a free society where you can do as you please when it comes to that. But the example that I gave is if you're driving your car, most cars are pretty smart these days, have bells and whistles and computers that talk to you. So I'm going to imagine driving a car that puts on the screen exactly what's wrong. And if that showed on the screen that you were low on oil and you did not stop to put oil in the car and the engine seized, whose fault is that? The manufacturer of the car or you for not stopping to put oil in it? I'm going to tell you that from my perspective, it's the person who saw the signs, did not stop and put oil in the car, period. So how do you affect change if you don't vote? How does your opinion truly matter if you don't participate in the democratic process that's vital to our county and state? So I just ask you to please, please, please reconsider, vote as often as you can in every election that you can, and let your opinion and vote matter. So with that being said, I am fixing to get off here. I have to go to the Pine Bluff Chamber Alliance Expo that's at 2801 South Olive Street in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where it's a Meet the Candidate Expo, where you'll be able to meet all the candidates that are participating. I've talked to several today at the Chamber of Commerce luncheon for Whitehall Chamber of Commerce. and they stated they would be there. So I'm going to see Michael Turley there, who's running for county judge. Nate Todd, who's running for county judge. I'll be there. Talk to some other ones on the phone. They will all be there. So come out, have a conversation with your candidate, find out some information, and if nothing else, vote, 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 register to vote, 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 register to vote. I can't say that enough. We as a community need you to be involved and cast your vote. In every race, there's a winner and a loser. There's a first place and a second place. But we need everybody participating. We need maximum participation. And I ask you to come out in groves and vote, 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 vote. So in the meantime, feel free to reach out to me at 870-556-0330. This is very important. This is very important. I want you to communicate with me. Let me know if I can assist you in becoming a registered voter. I have voter registration cards, and I'll be glad to do that. It is my privilege and honor to get you involved in the civic duty process for our democratic society. As we are a free nation, this is part of what we get to do. So please, 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 if you talk to somebody who says they're not a voter, encourage them to go become registered and participate in this. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fixing to get off here. It's 3:20. I need to be there in the next 40 minutes. I thank you guys so much for your support. And come out, 2801 South Olive Street. Come out and visit with us today. Meet the candidates, meet myself, and all the other candidates running, and see if we can answer some questions for you. And as always, remember, God bless Jefferson County.